indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Aaron, would you lead us in prayer?
Yeah, let's start with a moment of silence and then I'll give us a prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for another day, another opportunity for us to gather and do your work and the work of our community. Help us to not take each day for granted and find value in the little in-between things. In your name we pray, amen.
Roll call.
Yep.
Roll call.
Mike Guthrie.
Present.
Jeff Hancock.
Present.
Jerry Walden. He's here.
Yeah.
Jerry Walden.
Sound like someone filled in the stands.
I know. Aaron Diggins.
Here.
Mark Coger.
Here.
Lynn Purdue.
Here.
Rex Fagenbaugh. Happy New Year.
Before we move forward, we need to do the elect a president, vice president. I make a motion to elect Rex Fagenbaugh for president.
Second.
Roll call.
Is there any other? Procedure?
Okay.
No other suggestions?
I told him I was going to, but then I knew that'd backfire on me, just so he could read it in the minutes, but.
Okay. Mike Guthrie.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock. Jerry Walden. Aaron Diggins.
Aye.
Mark Coger.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Okay.
Pass 6-0. Needham.
Make a motion for Jeff Hancock to remain as vice president. Second.
Roll call.
Mike Guthrie.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Same.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Diggins.
Aye.
Mark Coger.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Approval for the minutes in the previous meeting. Anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to accept.
Second. Roll call.
Mike Guthrie.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Diggins.
Aye.
Mark Coger.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Motion carries 6-0. Approval and/or additions to the agenda. I hear no. Before we go public comment, I think I got Corey here. Corey, would you like to do a presentation?
So, real brief, if you are not receiving our monthly newsletter from the Economic Development Corporation, you can scan it and sign up. If you're not receiving our tourism newsletter, which sometimes is twice a month in what I'll call our busy months, so that's summer and fall, you can scan that and sign up. And then I'm fairly active on LinkedIn as well. That concludes my economic development report unless you have questions. There are 3 items on your agenda tonight related to housing. And so one of them is the final step of the TIF amendment, Tax Increment Finance Amendment, placing the 2 locations, so Washington Street and then the Myers property behind Taco Bell, into a TIF allocation area. And that has gone through all the process, and the final authority rests with the City Council. And so that's one item on your agenda tonight. And then there are 2 resolutions, or 2 ordinances, I believe on second or third reading. I've lost track of time, but it allows for not only the capturing from a tax abatement perspective, even though we're not using tax abatement, from a collection of tax increment, say multifamily was to be built on one of these properties, the ordinance, if it passes, it allows for the collection of that. And so that's kind of we're not sure exactly what is going to be built, particularly in the later phases on the Myers property, but that ordinance takes care of that issue. So happy to answer any questions generally or specifically on the action that you're going to take tonight.
Both of these are on the third reading, so this will be the first
Okay.
final.
Thank you.
Any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move forward. Committee reports, Mike? I just got a few things and all that. Please remember the family of Jimmy Carter and the family and victims and first responders in LA. Also a reminder about the tragedy in New Orleans for the family, victims, and first responders. And as I watch this on the news and all that, and we have some large get-togethers, I think it'd be maybe the best interest for the city, and I'll use the Christmas walk and all that. We put barricades up, but maybe it'd be best to put a car by the barricades or something, not because of terrorists and all that, but we have had a lot of DUIs and OWIs and incidents on the street. So I think it'd just be a safety measure if we did something like it.
With the state police, we're doing that.
Or to cat and all that. You also got to schedule the holidays that will be closed and a schedule with the bus transit that's been closed. That's all. Jerry?
Just was informed, I knew about one water leak today, or my ward, just know about the other, over on 50. Again, grading his apartment, being out in weather like this, it said -1 on my vehicle. Went by the wind today, and it was running like a river. There's an 8-inch pipe,
Yes, that from 8-inch 56.
and for them to get out in this type of weather and get something like that fixed as quick as they do, it's amazing. And Lee informed me that he and his department works in here, because there's a lot of frozen water, so they shared salt and got that taken care of. So I just, but I think those two departments were working together the way they do it as quickly as they do. And Aaron, your family lost a master of generation. Can't tell you how many good times I had in that house, and how much Paul watched over us growing up. So very important part of my life, the whole family is. So respects out to you.
Thank you.
It's been a tough year for you guys. I know that. So that's all I have.
We are streaming tonight. I think everything's operating correctly. I guess we'll find out when I go home and watch it with nothing else to do. But audio should be good. Came in and tested it. Octal has set this up. We have another camera, so we'll be returning one of them once we check some details. But just some thoughts. I've got the instructions. I think Octal had made it to where you could stream it from a laptop, but I feel like everybody's got a mobile device anymore. So I think I've got instructions for streaming through an iPad. Works the same on my iPhone. That may be the easiest, because I'm thinking someone in the administration will have to take this on. I don't mind chipping in for, council meetings and whatnot, but I'm just thinking, and maybe Mr. Harvey can tell us what has to be streamed or by law this summer, but, I mean, Board of Works, Historic Preservation Commission, Parks, Zoning, I mean, anybody that meets in here could and should, I mean, from a transparency standpoint, stream it. Doesn't take much, and I'm happy to come do an education session with people from all the various boards that are going to need to stream, because it's pretty easy. So, but I think we've got it all set up and ready to go.
Aaron would suggest probably 2 people from each group.
Yeah,
as a-
probably.
have a backup.
Right.
And I'm thinking
Illnesses,
one-
vacations, yeah, land bank would be another one, right. And I would imagine Joel, I mean, as long as the board exists by some function of the city or by ordinance, it would probably need to be streamed. I haven't looked
I
at the
believe that's
details.
correct, yeah, I mean, I'd have to look at the statute again, it's been a while since I've looked at it. I mean, that's my recollection.
And we got some time. My thought is, you know, you get momentum built up so that when the day and deadline is here, there's no issues, you're good to go. And then lastly, just want to take a minute of the record, you know, like Jerry said, for my grandfather, passed away last week. He was hilarious, and you'd almost have to be raising 4 daughters. He was a courageous, patriotic veteran, as evidenced by his service with the 101st Airborne in Korea. And he was a selfless, hardworking doer, and whether that was as a member of the International Union of Operating Engineers or acts of service for his neighbors, wife, kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. He's left a very large legacy that he has showed us how to carry it on, and just prayers for, especially my mom and my grandma as they, you know, deal with another change in seasons for their lives. So that's all I have.
I don't have anything.
I've got nothing this evening.
Am I cold or what's it?
I've been cold all day. My boss puts me in a freezer those days.
Mayor, department head reports.
Chief, you have anything, Chief?
I do not.
Chief? Chief?
Hey.
I haven't got anything.
Couple things. First of all, the bypass dug there pretty quick. I want to bring everybody's attention that Ruth Hurst passed away, a classmate of some of ours. Graduated with him, known him, you know, lifelong. But his mother was the first department head that we had at the transportation department. And she was there for numerous years. I don't really have any idea. A lot of years. She passed away yesterday. Her funeral is this viewing's Friday. Funeral is Saturday. And I'd like for many people to appear or just give the family condolences if they could. But she was a real staple in getting the whole transit department. You remember when that started, Jeff? I mean, were you?
No, I think it's for Tom Mann.
Oh, yeah, no, it was under Sherman.
Sherman sometime, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure which term.
Yeah.
It's
Not even.
somewhere there, Sherman's.
So she's been ill for some time, so remember that family. I want to say thanks to Lee and his department and every other department that has a snow plow and snow truck. They nailed it this year. If you left town and came back to town, I was very proud of our roads. They salted twice before the big storm hit, and then worked all night long that night. And every time it started to snow again, we salted again. And we coordinate all that, and all the other departments that have snow plows and have snow salt boxes. We're throwing salt around their departments and around their neighborhoods. So I felt like they did a great job on the snow this year. Had a lot of compliments from people coming in town. I felt like that went extremely well this year. Lastly, and I don't know if we'll take a vote on it now or not, but I will take this very, very serious. I want to discuss it deeply after tonight. We'll give you something to think about before this. Joel and I have talked, Chief has talked. Every couple of years, we have somebody in town that drives a semi-truck with a trailer or parks a trailer somewhere else and parks a semi in a residential neighborhood. And we kind of have an ordinance for noise. We really don't have an ordinance for semis in residential areas, R1 or R2. I'm going to challenge it. Bring me back one neighbor that wants a semi parked on their block in the city limits. Amen. So I talked to Joel, and I think instead of us having this, some of the semis, you know, they got to run all night long, or they have a generator that runs, keeps the refrigerator and the electrical part of it, I don't know, the diesel from gelling up. So my thought is that we build an ordinance that this does not allow semi, truck, or trailer, or heavy equipment in residential neighborhoods. Don't have to worry about the noise ordinance. I don't know why anybody would want semi park in their neighborhood, so I would like some discussion about this at the next meeting. Maybe if we need to vote tonight, if anybody wants this to go forward, we'll take a vote for further discussion, or if you don't like it, we'll vote it down right now. But any input, any comment on?
Do you know what other cities have, Joe, for?
I don't off the top of my head, and I can look into that certainly.
We'll look at that, but I bet Carmel or Fisher or Western doesn't have semi.
I've had a complaint with a backhoe instead of just parking in front of the house on the trailer, he that wasn't used on a daily basis, so we're coming from, I like to make a motion to move forward, we look at, we look at some other cities and see how those are.
Now, would that be different for like backhoes if they were on a job site working?
See, I've got mixed emotions. We've got some neighbors that will have 11 cars, and they'll drive over the grass and over the sidewalk and leave ruts in the yard, and then with just regular cars that aren't licensed.
25th Street, we have one of those.
Yeah, so, I think any large industrial trucks, dump trucks or trailers with backhoes on them, I say any heavy equipment.
I would think if it was, like Jerry said, there should be real estate or property to get it off the road, because of the construction side.
Need to include alleys in that also.
I think the other thing about it, like I said amen to it, because in my neighborhood, we have it. And not to be the bad guy, but it's not good for our roads either. Now, these guys park up on the curbs, they park up on the sidewalk, get your truck off the road, good enough, I guess. I can take you and show you. But, yeah, I feel like it's something we need to check into. I second motion.
Roll call.
And just to clarify, this is just to move forward and
Yeah.
we need to vote on it? Can't you just have directive that
Yeah, I mean, you can
prepare
handle it
something?
either way.
Okay.
But I guess if you strong enough to vote no, there should be no regulation whatsoever.
I guess that's
If you
true.
vote no to it.
I guess that's true.
All right. Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walton.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hilder.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Passes 6-0.
That's all I have, we'll move forward now.
0121-205-25-1, transferring funds within funds from one department budget classification to another. I think we did this from year to year. Ashley, would you like to explain anything?
Sure, it sweeps to make sure all the funds are out of the negative at the end of the year. And we usually do it around the end of November to keep an eye on everything and look at it, and then at the end of the year, a little closer, and this is what we do on your ordinance, or on your resolution.
I'll make a motion to pass 01212025-1.
Second.
Okay. Mike Duffy.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walton.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hilder.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Passes 6-0. 01212025-2 regarding the establishment of the Washington Street SF Housing Economic Development Area and Memorial Drive SF Housing Economic Development Area. Whereas the Newcastle City Redevelopment Commission adopted, declared a resolution on November 2024, initially approving an economic development plan, 4th Street, parentheses, plan for the Washington Street SF Housing Development Area and Portion Street area, and adopted the declaration resolution Washington Street declarative resolution declaring that Washington Street area is an economic developed area subject to the activities pursued to IC 36-7-14 and IC 36-7-25 and all acts supplementary to them for thereto, parentheses, act. Whereas the commission adopted declaratory resolution on November 20, 2024, and initially approving an economic development plan, Memorial Drive, SF Housing Economic Development Area, Memorial Drive area, parentheses, adopted a resolution, Memorial Drive, in parentheses, declared resolution declaring Memorial Drive area an economic developed area subject to economic development activities pursuant to the act. Whereas the Washington Street Plan and Memorial Drive Plan are hereafter collectively referred to as plans, parentheses, whereas the Washington Street area and Memorial Drive area are hereinafter collectively referred as in parentheses, areas. Whereas the Washington Street declarative resolution and Memorial Drive resolution are hereinafter collectively referred to as the declarative resolution. Whereas IC 36-7-14-41, parentheses, C, requires a determination that a geographic area is an economic development area approved by Common Council of the city, and whereas the Common Council reviewed the declaration resolution after confirming the plans approved to the declarative resolution written order Newcastle Plan Commission regarding the declarative resolution and plans. Now therefore the result of this Common Council of the city of Newcastle, Indiana as follows. Number one, the Common Council hereby finds that determines it will be the best interest of the city to establish areas as described in the declarative resolution. Number two, creation of the areas described in the declarative resolution is hereby approved. Number three, the resolution shall be effective from after passage and approval by the mayor passing the Common Council of Newcastle the 6th day of January 2025. Are there any questions? I make a motion to pass this.
You second it?
Second.
Yeah.
Mike Duffy,
Aye.
Jeff Hancock,
Aye.
Jerry Walden,
Aye.
Aaron Dickens,
Aye.
Mark Over,
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Third reading, 3942, design the area within the city as an economic development target area. I make a motion we pass this on third reading.
Second.
Mike Duffy,
Aye.
Jeff Hancock,
Aye.
Jerry Walden,
Aye.
Aaron Dickens,
Aye.
Mark Over,
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Pass it 6-0. Third reading on 3943, designing the area within the city as an economic development target area. I make a motion we pass this.
Second.
Okay. Mike Duffy,
Aye.
Jeff Hancock,
Aye.
Jerry Walden,
Aye.
Aaron Dickens,
Aye.
Mark Over,
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Pass it 6-0.
Is there anything else you want to say? Good deal?
Thank you.
First reading, 3945, authorizing the collection of trash and garbage from certain properties outside the city and imposing an additional fee of trash and garbage collection service to provide to the properties outside the city. Whereas the city of Newcastle has adopted Chapter 95.25, the city code authorizing the collection of trash and garbage from citizens residing in the city subject to specified exclusion and conditions and whereas the city has implemented a monthly fee paid to liable customers for the collection of trash and garbage, and whereas the city wishes to offer trash collection services to persons residing outside the city limits, subject to approval to the street commissioner utility impact review board, and whereas the city wishes to establish an additional charge that will be paid by customers that receive trash collection service for property outside the city. Now therefore ordained by the Common Council of the City of Newcastle, Indiana as follows. Section 1, Section 95.25, parentheses B, of the city code shall be amended to include the following. The city may collect and dispose of trash, garbage from properties outside of the city subject to street commissioner utility impact review board. Authorizing the collection from each property outside the city for which collection service has been requested by owner and authorized occupant of the property. All customers or users of the trash collection service on properties outside the city shall comply with all applicable ordinances and rules of the city regarding the collection of trash and garbage. 2, all property owners or users receiving trash garbage collection service at property located outside the city shall pay an additional to all other than applicable charges for trash collection, an additional fee of $4 per month for each month trash is collected, service provided. Lee, would you like to elaborate on this a little bit?
Well, brought this up, we're getting a lot of phone calls from White Estate area, Pleasant View Drive area, and we're already right up against it anyway on South Main Street, and going down South View Drive back to Michael, Roberta, whatever the other street is, it's back there. What really kind of lit things up was 2 things. One, Buster's is no more, Rumpke has taken over. And 2, people are getting letters from Waste Management that they are ceasing residential trash service in this area. So when you go and you count White Estates, which already has water and sewer also, I think there's approximately 275 houses in that area. And then if you talk, if part of Pleasant View does and part of Pleasant View doesn't, you're looking at maybe 300, 350 houses total if we got them all. Currently, we're charging $14 a month, $14.50 counting over fee. They would be paying $18 plus 50 cents over fee. By the time you collect, on the average household for that many houses, you're looking at about 4 tons per week times our rate that it will take the trash. And so when I figured it all up, if we got all the houses, we would generate after expenses approximately $40,000 to $45,000 additional revenue into the sanitation fund. That's taking the time that it would take to pick up those houses, fuel and the extra fuel. These would be on a Monday route that I'm talking about. So it would be, I would have to revamp the 3 drivers on the one arms, kind of adjust their routes a little bit, but it can still be done and done in a, no longer really what we're currently running on Monday. There would be no overtime involved. It would all be done within the time frame that we're opening.
So, Lee, if they're hooked up with water and sewage already within the city's
Building area.
Yeah.
Right.
Are there any of those houses that would not be?
There are on Pleasant View. As I understood it from Mark Stacy, Pleasant View is kind of weird. The ones out closer to 3 have it, and the ones back closer to the back end or the east end do not. So there would be some areas that would not be eligible because they don't have any way to build.
And so that's how we're looking.
That's how we're looking. If they've got city water and then we can build in trash, they want trash, I'm just trying to, we're already there. Because like I said, we go all the way down to Woodbrook on South Main Street. Some of those houses have called and asked for trash service because we're driving right by their house anyway. If so, if we've allowed them to join us in this. And so I just thought after with changing the guard down at Hayes Landfill and with Waste Management saying they're not going to pick up our residential trash, it was a good time to increase our revenue.
So would the letters be sent out to each of the residents?
Yeah, I think we can there's a couple ways we can do it. Greg and I talked about this. We talked about making sure it was well advertised in the paper, in the bills themselves, the water bills, and then also when it warms up a little bit, actually go out there with flyers and put flyers in each house out there.
So this is something they can opt into
Yeah,
if they want.
It's not a mandatory thing.
Right.
If we charge them $18 a month out there, $18.50, currently they're paying $29 a month. It would be a savings to the resident.
That's what I was thinking.
For them to switch, okay? And we left it at $4 additional, is that right, Joel?
That's right.
So that way, if the city raises their inside city limits for trash, then theirs would be adjusted, or still be $4 more than whatever would be on the inside of it.
What would you do about the toters? How would you charge them for the toters?
Well, the toters cost the same whether they're inside or outside, so I think that the toter, it would still be a toter fee on that for,
Same as-
I mean, the initial,
Same.
I guess the initial charge, because we've already paid for those.
right.
The city residents have.
Yeah, that's a good question, Mark. I had not, never thought of that expense. I mean, I guess a toter cost, I don't know what it cost this year. Last year, they were right at $51 a toter, $52, so.
I mean, if we're gonna give, 200 to 400 toters out,
That's a lot of money.
a lot of money out of our pocket.
Maybe we should have a one-time upfront charge for,
I mean, I think it's be something to consider at least. I mean,
I've got to get some lids made. If I get some lids made, we'll never have to buy another toter.
unless you could buy them off of
Budget.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with theirs, because Rumpke obviously wants their name out there.
I think this is a great idea, but I think, you just can't hand people toters for free. I mean, to me, I
Do we
don't
need
think
to
it's,
table this to next
I
meeting?
don't think it's fair to the citizens that paid for it for,
Well, I think
15
if
years.
if we wanted to amend this a little bit, you could add let's say they get 2 toters.
I think
Okay,
it's something
So you're
to
looking at
talk.
$100, so you take that $100, divide it over a 12-month period, and so you're looking at $10 a month, a little less, $8 a month.
I think it's something to
Yeah,
talk about.
for the first year.
Amongst you guys.
And you can do it that way where it's not, here's a toter, give me $100. We could spread that cost out.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do, I think charging them something, I think, would, and
That
keep
would
it
be
in,
nice.
keep it in the trash fund. Yeah, we don't want it to go general. We want to say trash. I mean,
We gonna vote on this first reading
oh, I mean,
and have it amended on second reading?
yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean,
Yeah, that's what we gotta do. This is just an idea, I was trying to generate funds back in.
absolutely, I think it's a great idea. I mean,
My only concern with amending on second reading, because this imposes a new rate, you have to have a public hearing on it. So if you're adding any kind of rate, if you wanted to talk about, an additional fee for toters, you probably have to have a hearing on that as well. So I don't think you want to have 2 hearings on the same.
Let's go ahead and table it till.
if you guys could work on that, I mean, whatever you come up with is fine, but I think it needs to be something.
Yeah, that's fine. I never thought about,
That's
I knew because we were sitting on, we're sitting on several toters, I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah, whatever, I think it's a great idea, but I think that needs to be.
I make a motion table 3945 till next meeting.
Okay. I need a question.
Sure,
Your numbers were assuming everybody jumped on board.
that is correct.
Do you have a break-even number, let's say a third of them, half of them? Where's your break-even number?
It would take probably 25% to cover.
So we have to have 25% or so before we initiated this?
Well, and that's the thing. If they call you and tell you, because not all of them, of their monthly fees end at the same time, okay? And what I mean by that, Waste Management was on one fee, Charging Busters was on another, Rumpke is on another, okay? And most of them are all quarterly. So if they join, it may take them.
So they're paid up till April or.
Right, so it would take them a little bit to get, we would want to start servicing as soon as they call and say, hey, I'm available, okay? But it may take 6 months to get to the 25%.
So,
Now you gotta realize too, that we're talking, if I'm wrong, Joel, or Greg, correct me, this would include anybody currently receiving trash that doesn't actually live in the city limits, but have trash service.
And there are some.
And there are some.
That's excluding those that have been annexed, I would assume.
But you'd have to have a water bill to be.
You have to have one.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about mostly is, you go down Slice and Pine, where they built those new houses. One house is in the city limits, one house is not in the city limits, one house. Yeah, and I said, look, we're driving right by, they want city water, or they wanted city water, they got it, give them trash service, and let's go on down the road.
Absolutely.
And so if we're driving by it, we might as well pick it up and charge it, is the way I see it, and that's why I thought, White Estates was a good area for us to kind of expand into. There is another area that I'm somewhat eyeballing, but I hadn't had a chance to talk to Greg, simply because we either have to raise everybody's rates, or we can figure out a way to generate some revenue. And so this is just one way to generate some additional revenue.
Well, if you guys could work on that, I think, to me personally, I think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I'll go ahead and second Jeff's motion to table it.
Roll call, please.
Mike Huckabee.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Wolf.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Over.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye. Passes 6-0. Ordinance number 3946, an ordinance repealing chapter 151 and chapter 152 of the Newcastle City Code and adopting a new unified development ordinance regulating the development of the subdivision and land use within the city of Newcastle and adopting a new zoning map. Whereas the City of Newcastle Planning Commission has initiated a proposal to adopt a new unified development ordinance that will regulate the subdivision of real estate and use of real estate within the city, and to adopt a new zoning map, repeal chapter 152, parentheses, subdivision regulation, and chapter 152, parentheses, zoning of city code, and whereas evaluating the proposal to adopt a new zoning ordinance and zoning map, the Planning Commission Common Council shall pay reasonable regard to, number one, the comprehensive plan, and number two, current conditions of the character of current structures and uses of each district, and three, the most desirable use for which the land is each district is adapted. Four, the conservation of the property values through the judicial, and the five, responsible development and growth. Whereas the Planning Commission conducted a hearing on the proposal and has certified the request from the Common Council with a favorable recommendation then. Whereas the Common Council has determined that the new unified development ordinance and new zoning map should be adopted. Now therefore ordained by the Common Council in the City of Newcastle, be as follows. A, Chapter 151 subdivision regulation, Chapter 152 zoning of the city code are repealed in entirety. B, zoning map for the City of Newcastle is amended from time to time as repealed. C, the unified development ordinance attached as Exhibit A is enacted and shall replace chapters 151 and 152 of the city code. D, the zoning map attached to Exhibit B will establish zoning districts within the city as adopted, and each parcel of the city shall not be classified for zoning purpose as depicted and attached to Exhibit B. Jeff, do you have any, want to talk about this somewhat?
I really wasn't a lot in, I think Joel was kind of.
Yeah, I mean, just to tell you procedurally, this is a little different than you have 99% of the other ordinances you consider, because there's a specific statutory procedure for adopting a new zoning code. And essentially what it requires is the Planning Commission to initiate the proposal. Then after they have certified it to you with a favorable recommendation, at the next meeting, you have to either approve the zoning code and map in its entirety, reject it in its entirety, modify it, or consider it, or I guess table it, I guess would be the right word, for further consideration. You can also conduct your own public hearing if you want to. We would have to do notice on that. But essentially you have four options on it tonight. So it's a little different than the three readings you typically have on your regular ordinances. Just this is a specific type of statute that addresses it. I can say that at the Planning Commission hearing, the consultant who drafted this for the city indicated he would be available for the next meeting. He was not available tonight. So certainly if you have any questions about it, he'd probably be the best person to ask. It's a 200-some page document, so there's a lot there.
Well, we met at the Armory a few months ago and met with him, went over a lot of them. We asked a lot of questions that maybe could have been in some gray areas, and it's defined pretty good. We were real happy with the work they did on it.
So it does have to have a public hearing, no matter
It is,
what?
well, it's not required. The planning commission is required to, and they had the public
They,
hearing.
so we don't, they.
You don't have to, you can elect to do it if you
So, but it's
want.
already been done?
It's done, yeah, there has been one public hearing.
I got you, thank you.
And then you said not 3 readings, this is a one and done.
This is a one and done, if you say you want to approve it, or if you want to reject it, that does it, or if you want to modify it, you can do that, or you can table it for further consideration.
If we do approve it, are we able to set the date that it goes into effect?
You can do that.
Okay.
I think a note from Rags that February 3rd, 2025, just to help out Kenny and Janet on the administrative end would be probably the effective date, yes.
And could we have, maybe come and speak to the council in case anyone has?
Oh, sure, I mean, I think-
No, Lynn and I were at the meeting. I don't have any questions, but I don't want to speak for anybody else.
You know, I got pretty good faith in the way this process went. And, you know, the committee that was formed, the work Joel's done, I mean, I feel very comfortable with passing this. And I know the office has asked for a delay until the 3rd, and I don't mind granting that at all. I'd like to say thank you for everybody involved. And I know it's been a lot of hard work. And go ahead, Mike, I know you're on the committee.
Yeah, I was on the committee, and I will say that Janet and Kenny were both very involved in every meeting, asked every question you could think of, and I think they both are really satisfied, and Jeff can chime in, that this is going to be a lot easier for them. Everything's going to be digital, so you can all look at it. It's a lot easier to look up the questions you have, like what kind of fence can I put up, my driveways. Corey was involved, so I think,
And Janet didn't always agree with the guy.
no, not at all. She says, I've been doing this for a lot of years, this is the way we do it, it's gonna be hard for her to change, but she's totally
We're
in favor of it.
with it, Jeff. Are you comfortable with this?
Yes, I am. I just have one question on it, and it's just, it says it's a draft document on the attached, so
I think that was,
anything will change?
I think that was the finalized form that you guys have on, was the one that was carried over to consider the meeting. So I don't believe there are any changes to what's available online.
But this is something we can always amend.
Oh, absolutely.
We can always amend anything along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
I'll make a motion to pass 3946.
Second.
Do you want the effective date to be in your
February
motion?
3rd, 2025.
That's okay to do, Joe?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Yeah, let me do it.
One second.
Okay, Mike Duffy,
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walton.
Aye.
Aaron Diggins.
Aye.
Mark Homer.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Passes 6-0. This includes the council meeting.
I have one real quick thing, just real quick, Jeff, I'm sorry. Dave and I talked, the streets that are down behind the Y, where they built those new houses down there, we need to adopt them into the city road. And the reason we need to do this, I went to file the paperwork so we can start collecting money. And we've never adopted, you guys have never adopted those into the city street inventory. And it's not, so if we're taking care of them, we might as well get money for the state to try to do so.
So is that just the clarification?
Yeah, I think if you set a motion for the minutes, I think that would probably do it if you adopt it. I mean, they may require resolution to confirm it, I can do that for next meeting.
That'd be fine.
Just in case everybody from the Y asked you, when the road was put in originally to the YMCA, probably less than a third of those lights work now. So I think it's around 75, 78 lights. We're going to take out the lights that are down there, put new lights in, and those lights will continue on back in that neighborhood, and it's going to be the gas lantern lights just like downtown, so kind of tying downtown what's down there. So from Road 3 all the way back into the housing district, we're working with Duke Energy right now to get all those, if it wasn't for the hospitals lights there right now, it'd be pretty dark down there in the evening, or early morning when you pull through, so we're working on that to get new lights from Road 3, and the New York Avenue, all the way back in the housing district, so.
Joe, we'll have that ready for us next
Oh, we
council.
may not have to resolution.
Do we have any updates on the start on State Road 3 or anything?
We had a pretty good meeting, same day as his address, so I won't be attending that, I'll be going to Indianapolis. They're inviting all the contractors that are going to bid the projects, and I think we're still waiting to
Okay.
So as far as the start date,
Do we have any more questions?
Point of order, did anybody take action on Lee's question?
I think they're gonna draft it.
It's just drafted, okay, thank you.
You
Okay, thank you.
That concludes the council meeting.
Didn't have much.
It was a good time.